This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And good morning, Monday morning, September 18th, 6 o'clock. I'm Ray Collins. Glad you're with us. Jacqueline Matter comes along later on this afternoon. Let's get to the forecast now. Should be a relatively Chamber of Commerce Monday, John Scalzi.
Yeah, I think so. I would be delighted if I could lower the temperature about 10 degrees. But other than that, lots of sunshine, a lot of blue sky. It should be pretty right straight through the day into the afternoon. I know there's still some people who are out there working to restore all services, and your weather should be just fine in that regard. Just a little warm in the afternoon, but rain-free. Titan radar not showing a drop of rain around currently. Morning commute, A-OK. And as far as the day ahead, anyway, we'll talk about a 90-degree temperature. We'll talk about a heat index of about 100 to 104, and we'll talk about rain-free skies. Now, in the week ahead, we do have some changes coming up, and we'll talk about those coming up in a few, Ray.
All right, talk soon. Thanks, John. Checking first alert traffic now on this Monday morning. A couple of problems there up at State Road 64 around the interstate. You'll see a congestion in both directions, just west of I-75. Otherwise, pretty good. Farther south, he tried to say. A little problem there on the northbound 41 along the bayfront at the 301 Apex. And then South County, one little blip there on the screen as you're approaching 681 in the northbound lane. Topping our news this hour, President Trump kicks off his week in New York City today, where he'll attend the UN General Assembly for the first time. Two major issues, North Korea and Iran. Arlette Sines has this preview.
President Trump makes his debut at the UN General Assembly, his most prominent moment yet on the world stage. In his hometown, the president comes face to face with the very organization he criticized as a candidate.
The United Nations is not a friend of democracy. It's not a friend to freedom. It's not a friend even to the United States of America.
The president's week features back-to-back meetings with world leaders, the schedule described by one analyst as speed dating from hell. The marquee moment comes Tuesday when the president addresses the 193-member body for the first time. At the top of the president's agenda, how to rein in North Korea after its repeated missile launches and its most powerful nuclear test yet.
If North Korea keeps on with this reckless behavior, if the United States has to defend itself or defend its allies in any way, North Korea will be destroyed. And we all know that. And none of us want that. None of us want war.
Another issue, what will the president do about the Iran nuclear deal brokered by President Obama? The White House has hinted the U.S. may pull out of the agreement, which our closest allies still support.
What we have to make sure is that no deal can provide cover for the Iranian regime to develop a nuclear weapon in a clandestine manner while they're reaping all the benefits of this deal.
Two leaders not attending the meeting are China's President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Both of those leaders are critical in pressuring North Korea, but President Trump won't have the chance to make his case to them in person. Arlette Sines, ABC News, Washington.
Over the weekend, President Trump talked to South Korean President Moon on the phone regarding North Korea. The conversation comes after another nuclear missile launch from the radical nation. The two countries agreed to stronger sanctions against Kim Jong-un's regime. The president will have the opportunity to directly address the regime's delegation at the UN today. The Trump administration is considering a new travel ban to replace its original executive order. President Trump tweeted about a stricter travel ban after Friday's train bombing in London. His original ban proposed suspended travel from 6 majority Muslim countries to the U.S. for 90 days. His security advisor spoke about that this week on ABC's Sunday.
This is something that we're looking at, is how to protect the American people better, how to ensure that we know who these people are.
Parts of the existing order are already in effect, but the overall ban goes before the U.S. Supreme Court next month. The U.S. is considering closing down its embassy in Havana because of a mysterious acoustic attack on diplomats. The mysterious attacks left 21 Americans injured since late last year. Officials told CNN the diplomats were exposed to some kind of sonic device that operated near their residences. The device cannot be heard, but it left the victims with symptoms that resemble a concussion. At least 2 of them were brought back to this country for treatment. Cuba denies any involvement, and it's allowing the FBI to investigate in Havana. Transgender troops who are already enlisted will be allowed to stay in the military for now. President Trump banned recruiting new transgender service members last month, citing medical costs. But the Pentagon now says that the transgender troops whose terms of service end during the review will be allowed to re-enlist. The ban created a backlash with a bipartisan group of senators pushing legislation to protect transgender troops. Those service members have been allowed to serve openly since June of last year. Overnight, St. Louis police tweeted an update saying they made several arrests after a weekend of protests. St. Louis has seen multiple protests in the past few days after the acquittal of Jason Stockley. He's the former police officer accused of killing a black driver back in 2011. St. Louis police went on to tweet that criminals have caused serious property damage in the downtown area and that this destruction will not be tolerated. Now to a shocking scene caught on camera at the North Carolina Fair. Look at the Ferris wheel ride worker who took action to try to help two small boys. The pair were teetering at a dangerous angle, but the worker falls off the wheel before he can save the boys. He fell to the ground. The two boys, just minor injuries. The parents on the ground watched the entire thing.
I felt helpless, and it was the scariest moment.
That's your babies up there. You can't do anything to protect them. Like, you're at the bottom, just lifeless.
State officials are still investigating what caused the ride to malfunction in the first place. In response to last week's nursing home deaths in Hollywood, Florida, Governor Rick Scott is taking emergency action requiring the installation of life safety features in senior facilities across Florida. These rules include a mandatory inspection of all newly installed generators by the Florida State Fire Marshal's office. Now, if you're a renter who has experienced damage from your home, you might be wondering who is responsible for fixing that damage. Many tenants and landlords can be having trouble with making that decision on their own. Power may be gone and part of a home might be unlivable, but finding alternative living arrangements can be hard. After a disaster, a spokesperson said in North Florida, most situations are best resolved by the two parties simply working together.
The courts are dealing with other matters. They've been closed for a while. They've got other things going on. It may be a while before a court would resolve it. And then you have a situation where a third party is actually resolving it as opposed to the people who are actually dealing with the situation.
Unless a contract says otherwise, a landlord is not required to provide temporary housing for somebody displaced by the storm. However, a tenant also has the right to terminate a lease if a dwelling is not inhabitable. Some of Florida's farmers are in survival mode after Hurricane Irma did more than destroy their crops. It wiped out the best growing season in 10 years. In what was supposed to be the bounce-back year, Irma slashed its way through the heart of the state's orange groves last week. Experts say up to 70% of the crop was ripped from the trees, decimating rows of orchards. The citrus industry employs about 45,000 people statewide. But a University of Florida agricultural advisor says the looming harvest looks bleak and the prospect of finding work is withering for many if there isn't any fruit to pick. Well, this past week also brought some good news to a Florida family who was still cleaning up after the hurricane in West Palm Beach. The family's 4-year-old dog named Relay disappeared last year. Well, the shepherd mix dug her way out of the yard and disappeared. Somehow, she wound up more than 1,000 miles away on Long Island. The person who found the dog brought her to the animal rescue, and they were able to track her down. Relay's family is still trying to clean up from the hurricane, but the rescue shelter in Freeport, New York, hopes to reunite them sometime soon. And state wildlife officials and SeaWorld worked to rescue 5 manatees in Melbourne over the weekend. The manatees were trapped in a pond when a creek overflowed and engulfed the pond during Hurricane Irma. Now, when the waters receded, the manatees got stuck. Workers and volunteers with FWC, SeaWorld, the University of Florida, set up a tent to work under, make it a little cooler for the manatees. They were then loaded into trucks and taken to SeaWorld. Fortunately, none of the manatees appeared to be any worse for the wear, and that's good news here. Yeah.
I guess you really do have to keep their skin hydrated because that's the first thing that dries out on a manatee.
We had the issue locally. Some manatees got stuck in the bay.
Right, when the water was forced out. Yeah,
that was a strange thing.
And I guess they made out all right too, so.
No complaints.
It's been a good week for the manatees, I guess,
Yes.
and humans helping out. Showers and thunderstorms in the forecast down the road, but not today. Today, another dry one. We'll talk about that in a second.
Also ahead, first alert traffic and a look at one couple's home and how they're choosing to live through the damage left behind by Hurricane Irma. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
As Hurricane Irma tore through the Suncoast, ABC 7 First Alert Weather was here for you, tracking Hurricane Irma on the all-new ABC 7 First Alert Weather app and sending push alert updates on the storm, providing life-saving tips and non-stop coverage on air, online, and on all your digital devices. Plus, we answered thousands of your questions during our Hurricane Helpline. We kept you informed every step of the way. ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you when you need us most.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Discover all the reasons the experts love Subaru during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is the best overall brand for 2 years running and the most trusted brand for 3 years running, according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Right now, you can lease one of Subaru's most versatile vehicles, the Subaru Crosstrek, for as little as $189 a month, or get 0% financing. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
We asked you, Suncoast, why do you like ABC 7?
I like ABC 7 because it's local. It gives me all the local news.
The local news, local weather.
It's so local and so community-driven.
Kelly Wilgus does a great job.
John Scalzi, that's my guy.
Bob Harrigan is wonderful. Stephanie's my favorite.
I like Scott Dennis. I like them all.
We're all very grateful that you cover what you do and you're here to participate with the community.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now, your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Air temperature comes in at 74 degrees with the dew point at 70. That's a pretty comfortable dew point for this time of year. You know, when you're getting pretty close to that 60 upper 60s, that's nice, and that's what we have. North wind responsible for that, coming in at about 5, and fairly clear skies out there with just some fair weather clouds around. As far as the forecast goes, 74 degrees Wauchula, Arcadia at 73, 74 in Punta Gorda and in Northport. Boca Grande at 78 and then 75 in Venice. Double 74s in Bradenton and in Sarasota, and 73 degrees in Parrish. So we have some mid-Atlantic showers, mostly out in Gulf waters. That's part of the circulation of Jose that continues to spin off the mid-Atlantic coast. We get a little bit of showery activity across the extreme eastern sections of the Florida Peninsula. And we get some showers back to the west, stretching into the Ohio Valley, caused by a frontal boundary there. Now for us, It's unlikely we see much in the way of rainfall anywhere across the state today, except maybe a few that pop up right along the immediate coast, but they'll die out as soon as they make it over land. And locally, morning commute is just perfect. There's no rain showers around anywhere. And the reason for that is some drier air that has moved in, and it's moved in because of a high pressure ridge back to the west and a low pressure area, Jose, spinning around off the Atlantic coast. The combination of those two, the flow around both of them, are producing winds that come right in out of the north over the peninsula. And that's drawing down that drier air that's just shut down the Florida rain machine. A frontal boundary to the north is going to kind of keep Jose off the coast, but close enough that there are some hurricane watches up from about the Delmarva on up through New York and into Maine. There could be some coastal erosion here. There could be certainly some high surf and some swells that create some problems for coastal residents. But for us, the impact of Jose is basically non-existent except for that wind direction. So we get more beautiful days, several of them. We get hot afternoons, but pleasant evenings. Once the sun sets, the temperature should moderate pretty quickly with that dry air in place. So a nice big ridge of high pressure bringing us that northerly wind flow, drawing down that drier air across the peninsula. Now eventually it'll be replaced with a little bit more moisture, and that will up our rain chances as we head into probably the second half of this work week. So we've got Lee. Lee is a 35-mile-an-hour storm hanging on to depression status, but will probably just wash away eventually. And then we've got Jose that I just spoke about, and we've got Maria, which bears watching. 90-mile-an-hour winds right now, likely to become a Category 3 storm with time, move right through the central Leeward Islands across, or at least close to, areas of Puerto Rico and then close to Hispaniola as well before starting to turn north. Now that's a kind of a nerve-wracking forecast, but the computer models are very tightly clustered around this motion up toward the Bahamas, and then a turn to the north pretty quickly, and eventually, hopefully, out into the open waters of the Atlantic, or perhaps the mid-Atlantic. It might get closer there. They have to watch it. But so far, only a few outlier models take it close to the state of Florida, so not too terribly worried about that for our peninsula, but it's certainly one that we'll keep an eye on in case there is any change in direction, and we know how things can happen with these hurricanes, so we'll keep an eye on it. But right now, there's pretty good computer model consensus of a turn out, at least a turn to the north before getting to Florida. Northwest wind at about 15 knots will bring a moderate chop and 2-foot seas, and the official Suncoast forecast calls for a chance of showers as we head into the end of the week. But for the first half of the week, First Alert weather shows dry skies. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Checking First Alert traffic now on this Monday morning. Pretty good right now in Manatee County. A little slowdown there on 64 east of the interstate. Sarasota County, nothing too much to report at this hour. And then checking farther south into our South County map, all pretty clear at 6:18 on your Monday morning. Hurricane Irma ruined countless homes in the Florida Keys. Most residents have had to live elsewhere. But as Janine Stanwood shows us, not everybody is moving out.
We spent all our money to
evacuate.
To evacuate it, but we have nothing left.
For some on hard-hit Stock Island, the little they had is now gone.
My yacht is gone. My two dinghies, a small boat, gone. I don't have nothing.
But as we were about to leave the Island Life trailer park there, this happened.
He's inside?
Yeah. Neighbors tell us inside this crushed house we thought was abandoned are two people.
We looked through the door, and there's somebody inside.
Oh my gosh. Hello? Hi. How are you? This is Joy. The bandages are for her sunburn. She says she and Jerry came back after Irma and have been sleeping here ever since.
We've been here for 5-6 days.
You've been here for 6 days like this?
Yeah,
they just left
today. Yeah.
Has anybody come to help?
Oh, yeah.
There's been all kinds of people.
All kinds of people.
The owners of the park haven't been around.
They didn't let anybody
split.
down here.
You haven't seen them. Haven't seen the owners of the park.
All right, so this is where Jerry and Joy lived. And they're still staying in this house.
Are you hanging in? You all right?
Oh, we're struggling.
Down the road, an organization called Caring for the Keys was handing out the last in this load.
We got some, which is good. It's better than nothing, you know.
With all the keys now open to residents and business owners, more relief, but more heartache as people see how their homes fared. As for Jerry and Joy, they say they'll pick up ice later today and insist they're fine for now.
Hang in there, Jerry and Joy. Wow. Still heading Good Morning Suncoast, the latest on 4 American college students recovering from an acid attack in France. An update on the suspect after this.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
It's Willamania at the Players Center as the Will Rogers Follies takes the stage September 27th. Part homespun humor and part Ziegfeld Follies, this toe-tapping Tony Award musical is the start of our wild Broadway series. So call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. You need to catch Willamania.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
We were watching ABC 7 News.
We kept getting the information we needed along the way, and it did help us prepare.
When they were showing the eye, I started to realize, okay, we better take some precautions.
We were able to look at the My Suncoast app and get the weather updates.
We stayed informed during the storm.
It makes a big difference having the information that you need in a time of stress.
Bob and John Scalzi, both of them, they're my favorites.
It helped a lot to have you guys reporting for us.
Well, a nice sign of life resuming on the Suncoast. The farmers market had a good showing this past weekend. There's Aaron and me, and also Cliff Rolls and Maria, his wife, and their 2 granddaughters. So a little snapshot showing the Suncoast bouncing back at the farmers market on Saturday morning. Love to see your pictures. Send them this way. You can address them to me at Ray Collins, ABC 7. Make sure you like the page. Also, Jacqueline and John have pages as well, so check those out when you get a chance sometime this morning. Welcome back, 6:24 on this Monday morning. New information now on the suspect involved in an acid attack in a French train station. ABC's James Longman has the story.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the latest on 4 American college students recovering from an acid attack at a train station in France. Police arresting a 41-year-old woman for allegedly spraying them with hydrochloric acid. 2 of the women rushed to the hospital suffering facial burns. The other 2 treated for shock. The students all attend Boston College. This morning, the college juniors returning to Paris, where school officials tell ABC News they plan to complete their semesters abroad.
One of the students will have to see an eye doctor tomorrow.
The Acid Survivors Trust International estimates there are around 1,500 reports of acid attacks a year around the world. Authorities in Marseille saying the alleged attacker has a history of psychological problems and don't believe the attack is related to terrorism. We'll have more on the investigation coming up at 7 a.m. with your GMA First Look. I'm James Longman, ABC London.
When food is good and clean and real, it's okay to crave. And with Panera Catering, there's more to go around. Panera, food as it should be.
Get ready, beauty buffs. Take 15% off new beauty faves. Plus get free shipping during Macy's beauty event, now through September 25th. Get ready for fall. Get ready for beauty. Get ready for Macy's.
He's a dog in every sense. Yet in his soul, he's a wolf. Nothing connects them more than a desire for meat, so we created meat-rich Blue Wilderness to feed the wolf that lives inside your dog.
Maria's always on the go, taking over 7,000 steps each day, and she does it in any shoes she wants, with lasting comfort. Only Dr. Scholl's stylish step has insoles that are clinically proven to provide all-day comfort. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
Consumer Cellular makes it easy to stay in touch with family and stay within our budget.
Now our cell phone bill is only a fraction of what it used to be.
Our average customers get everything they need for about $25 a month, and plans start at only $10 a month with no contracts.
Consumer Cellular has a great choice of phones. Check out my new one.
I picked this simple phone.
I use my son's old smartphone. Kept my number, too.
Consumer Cellular has been an approved AARP provider since 2008, and members get exclusive discounts.
It's a good thing Consumer Cellular is always there, because sometimes I need a little help.
Sometimes. We're proud to have received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service among non-contract wireless providers.
Over the years, we've seen a lot of change.
We actually use change.
Luckily, there are some things we can still afford.
Like Consumer Cellular.
Stop paying too much for wireless service. Switch to Consumer Cellular. And with our 30-day risk-free guarantee, it's easy. Call 1-800-920-3084. Go online or visit a Target store today.
You love your couch and want to protect it from spills, food, and scratching, shedding pets. Introducing Couch Coat, the reversible, washable quilted cover that protects your couch. Shield against spills. Wow! Stop stains and dirty pet paws and sharp claws. Plus, it's reversible with 2 stylish colors. Guaranteed to fit any couch up to 92 inches or your money back. It even has covers to protect armrests. Machine washable too.
My grandkids destroy everything, but with Couch Coat, my couch is always protected, looking as good as it did the day I bought it.
Get your couch coat for just $19.99. And it's reversible in brown and cream, like 2 couch coats for the price of 1. Order right now and you can double your offer. Get a second couch coat. Just pay a separate fee. Order right now.
Call 1-800-943-0710 to get your couch coat. Call now or go to couchcoat.com. So call 1-800-943-0710. That's 1-800-943-0710. Call now.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC 7 shows on your streaming device.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, getting back to normal after Hurricane Irma. For the first time, schools are back in session this morning. Plus, the World Rowing Championship is now days away. We'll tell you how the hurricane affected some of the teams. And we'll update power outages as FPL continues to take the Suncoast out of the dark. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, Monday, 6:30, September the 18th. I'm Ray Collins. Jacqueline's on later on this afternoon. Let's get to John Scalzi now for a peek at the Monday forecast. Good morning, John.
Good morning. Yeah, it looks pretty good for us. We have a lot of dry air that's in place, providing us with rain-free skies, sunny skies, but warm temperatures consequently. As we head into the afternoon, we won't see much in the way of rain, but we will see temperatures climb up to near the 90-degree mark. It feels like temperatures won't be that bad, coming in close to 100 because the humidity is down just a little bit, so it will still feel a little bit more comfortable given the 90-degree temperature. As far as rain showers go, they're coming later in the week. We'll talk about that coming up in a few. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now. Nothing major to report in Manatee County, just a few slowdowns here and there. Farther south now into Sarasota County. The only issue I see really is around 41 southbound as you approach the Bayfront. And our final map, South County, will show us nothing to report at 6:31 on your Monday morning. Topping our news, 1 week after the storm, tens of thousands of the Suncoast are still without power. Here are the latest numbers. In Sarasota County, over 21,000 still in the dark. In Manatee County, over 11,000 still powerless. About 6,000 more homes were plugged back in yesterday. Happening today, it's back to reality for students and parents after a week of no school after Hurricane Irma. Sarasota and Manatee County schools returned this morning. The Sarasota School District has an added bonus, free breakfast and free lunch for all students for the next 4 weeks. It's courtesy of the State Department of Agriculture. As for the teachers, some shelter guests left behind notes of appreciation on the whiteboards, a little thank you for the use of their classrooms during the storm. One Sarasota school got some extra help over the weekend as they prepared for the classes today. Students and volunteers at the Community Day School on South Tuttle Avenue finished up some last-minute debris removal. During the storm, the school lost power and saw several downed oak trees. But for the most part, the head of the school says they were very lucky.
Today is the day before our kids get to come back. It's been a long week of cleanup, but the school's ready and we're in great shape, and we have power and electricity and air conditioning and internet and all that great stuff. And this is our sort of last chance to pick up those few branches that are left over and give our kids the opportunity to shiny up their playground and be ready to play in the morning.
All right, and the school's buildings were pretty much trouble-free during the storm as well. As part of the ongoing Hurricane Irma recovery efforts, contractors for the city of Sarasota will begin picking up storm debris today. Unlike regular yard waste pickup, there will be no scheduled days for debris collection, which is why you are encouraged to place unwanted material curbside as soon as possible. Some rules to follow: place your debris at least 3 to 5 feet away from anything like mailboxes or street signs that could hinder the machinery that picks it up. Also, don't place debris in the street or on top of storm drains, and don't mix household waste, bulk waste, or recyclables with storm debris as well. Meantime, the Sarasota County landfill is back open and open for no charge this week as well. It's on Knights Trail Road in Tacomas. It's open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. All fees will be waived until September 23rd. And some good news for those in Sarasota County with roof damage from the storm. The county and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is looking to help. Members of the Blue Roof program will give away free tarps for residential roofs. They'll be at the Bee Ridge Park on South Lockwood Ridge Road from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day this week. Homeowners must show up in person to sign up for the tarps. Now, roofs with greater than 50% structural damage are not eligible for those blue tarps. Meantime, despite some minor setbacks, Hurricane Irma won't stop this week's World Rowing Championships. As our Jess Dowdrick shows us now, the teams are affected by the preparations.
Things have been changing quickly here at Nathan Benderson Park. The grandstands are going up. Rowers have been practicing on the water. It almost looks like a hurricane never even hit our area. But of course it did. Hurricane Irma slamming the Suncoast, delaying travel plans and setup.
We're constantly getting updates, checking, and just making sure everything was okay for everyone as well.
Rowing teams from across the world were scheduled to arrive in Sarasota right as Hurricane Irma hit. But those plans were delayed as teams tracked the storm from their native countries.
Yeah, we were a little bit worried. That's normal, I think, because when you see television in France, it was a big catastrophe here.
But on Thursday, Team Argentina was the first to arrive in Sarasota. All 69 teams are expected to be here for the opening ceremony next weekend, and most won't even be able to tell a storm hit.
Genuinely, like, minus a couple of branches on the trees, like the clear up has been, yeah, obviously really substantial, and you can't really notice it. Like, some people in our hotel are staying in different rooms because they had hurricane damage, but apart from that, yeah, you can't really notice it.
Hurricane Irma didn't leave much damage behind at Nathan Benderson Park. A few palm trees took a fall, but the infrastructure is okay and ready to host thousands from across the world.
The lake is okay. The park folks, Sanka, they have the ability to actually drain the lake in preparation for any big storm. So they did just that. As most of us know, Irma was not a significant rainmaker, so the water level stayed pretty much the same.
The grandstands are going up. The containers full of rowing equipment has arrived from overseas. The championships are back on schedule.
Sarasota is ready to the beginning of the World Rowing Championships, yeah.
A few of the hotels hosting these rowers did lose electricity, but that has since been restored. Now, yesterday was the last meeting for volunteers for the World Rowing Championships. There was a show of hands, and about 95% of them had lost power at one point or another, but they're still ready for the weekend's events. The organizers say that shows just how dedicated and resilient the area is. Reporting in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
And with the races starting, both Sarasota and Manatee County area transit will offer reduced prices in public transportation. A week-long pass will be offered for only $20 per person, and those 65 and older, just $10 for the week. Those passes can be purchased at the downtown Sarasota transfer station, at the SCAT offices, and at the Cattleman Road station on North Cattleman Road. Daily passes can also be purchased, but those are on board the buses, and they're only cash. Visitors to the Ringling Museum on Sunday enjoyed the added bonus of free admission. The Ringling closed last Friday and reopened Sunday for the first time since Hurricane Irma. And free admission is just the way the museum wants to say thank you for your support during the cleanup.
We were extremely lucky here at the Ringling Museum that we really have not suffered any major damage. We have a few downed trees, as you can see behind me, and some debris like a lot of people here experienced. But our staff and community has been extremely dedicated over the past few days.
The museum took several precautions before the storm hit, including pulling some of the more valuable works of art off the wall and also securing the building. Luckily, the structure and its collection inside are all safe. Hundreds enjoyed dinner last night thanks to the Detweiler's Farm Market. Employees worked all day to prepare the community barbecue. The grocery store primarily wanted to give back to first responders and FPL crews who've been working around the clock throughout the past week. Their efforts helped bring thousands back to normal, so the owners thank them the best way they know how, through the stomach.
We lost power for about 6 days, and we came home and we finally got power, no food, and then our refrigerator doesn't work now. So we're luckily here getting food for us and the girls so we can have a hot meal.
The community came around. We got a lot of people that are customers that said, hey, we want to volunteer. We got from 5 years old to 80 years old in here helping right now. So it's amazing, the community coming together in this time.
Now, the Detweiler family also collected donations in their stores for victims of Hurricane Harvey as well a few weeks ago, so they really have been on their game. And a movement to make the Suncoast more eco-friendly happened yesterday at Sarasota's Municipal Auditorium. Despite a thinner crowd than expected, vendors say they are still pleased by the turnout. The eco-friendly Florida Fest brought together a variety of people with the same purpose: to show the local community all of the resources it has to live a healthier and more sustainable lifestyle. Boy, 1 week ago this hour, John, it was a madhouse here. People sleeping on the floors around the TV station, on the air around the clock. Wow, it was a weird time.
It was a weird time. Let's hope we don't do it again this season.
Yes.
We're only halfway through, though. We still got, you know what, another six weeks left.
Active out there.
So, and it is active. Yeah. We'll talk about that in just a moment.
Also, your first alert: traffic and the issue of playgrounds and slides and injuries. A story on the way.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKX Sport Utility for $349 per month, or Lincoln's flagship, the 2017 Continental, for $449 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41. Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC 7 is seeking an account executive to join our winning sales team. This is an outside sales position covering the Tampa DMA. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
74-degree air temperature with a dew point of a comfortable 70. You know, that dew point when it gets pretty close to the 60s, 70, that feels good. It's when it's in the upper 70s that it feels so humid and thick and sticky. So it's a nice little gift, that lower dew point, considering that our temperatures today will be warm once again. We have a north wind now blowing at about 5. 73 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca. Parrish comes in at 74, 74 in Bradenton, Sarasota, Venice at 75, and in Boca Grande it is 78, 74 in Punta Gorda, and in Northport 74 as well. So not much in the way of any kind of rainfall over a large chunk of the country. We do have some showers just off the coast of the mid-Atlantic region, and also some over on our east coast, and some showers stretching back from the heartland back through parts of the open plains associated with a cold front there. But for us here in the state of Florida, it's a time to dry out, which is great news. There is nothing over the next several days that'll add to any of the river totals, so we're glad to see that. A few scattered showers moving toward the Atlantic coast, but again, the tendency is for these to die out as they get closer to the coastline. But locally, everything is quiet. Morning commute should be rain-free, and so should the morning commute. So should the evening commute back home. Absolutely no issues there. High pressure, the dominant weather feature, stretching back through the northern Gulf waters, and an area of low pressure, which is our hurricane, Jose, which continues to slowly lift northward on a track that'll hopefully eventually carry it back out to sea. Looks like that's going to be the case, but it will produce some swells and some rip currents and perhaps even some eroding waves for parts of the northeast into down east Maine. A frontal boundary approaching and then stalling out will keep it from getting too close to the coastline in terms of its wind speeds, but still you'll probably see some minimal tropical storm force winds anywhere from, I'd say, Connecticut, especially on up through parts of Maine. Montauk, such as that, will probably see some pretty heavy winds associated with this system before it pulls on out without actually making landfall in the northeast. High pressure for us directs our winds out of the northeast, draws down drier air, so we get several more dry days and hot afternoons, but pleasant evenings. As the sun sets, the temperatures fall off pretty quickly because of that drier air in place. This tan color, that's your dry air, and it really is being pulled southward across the peninsula by the area of high pressure located here and by Jose located here. The combination of those factors drawing down that northerly wind flow, and that's going to be locked in. Tropics still active. We have Lee. You may have heard of that. It's kind of falling apart. We'll probably be able to get rid of that, take it off the map over the course of the next day. And then we have Jose. We just spoke in length about that, lifting off to the north and to the east and recurving. And then there's Maria. Maria has 90-mile-an-hour winds right now as a Category 1 storm, but forecast to become perhaps a major hurricane, 3 or 4, as it tears through parts of the Leeward Islands and eventually toward Puerto Rico and then up toward Hispaniola. Now, it's kind of a disconcerting track, but it does appear that it'll stay away from the state of Florida and move out into the open waters of the Atlantic. Computer models in very good agreement, taking it right across Puerto Rico. And then beyond that, there's a bit of a spread. Some models taking it closer up to the mid-Atlantic, some models curving it back out into the open waters. We'll watch it carefully, but it doesn't appear to be a threat to Florida at this time. We'll see. Northwest wind at about 15 knots. That'll bring you a moderate chop on bay and inland waters. And the official Suncoast forecast calls for several dry, sunny days, but warm. And then rain chances work their way back in toward the end of the week. Back to you, Ray.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic right now. As you wake up on this Monday morning, we'll see some problems coming out of Palmetto toward the downtown Braden area. Otherwise, pretty clear in Manatee County. Checking farther south, some issues now on Fruitville in both directions around Tuttle and Beneva. Also along the bayfront there on 41. South County mostly clear at 6:47 on your Monday morning. In this hour's Health Smart, a story about the danger of sliding down the playground slides with the little ones. It can cause a broken leg for the child. Over a 12-year period, researchers found more than 300,000 slide injuries, mostly involve when adults try to be fun and slide down with the little ones in their laps. The most common injury, leg injuries to the child, so think twice before you decide to join in. Entertainment news. Last night's Emmy Awards saw some big stars, some new names, and some record setters. David Daniel has a recap.
The dark future's always brighter on TV. Let's go!
After the requisite opening musical number, Emmys host Stephen Colbert moved on to a mainstay of his own show, zingers aimed at President Trump.
Because unlike the presidency, Emmys go to the winner of the popular vote.
Trump may not have won an Emmy, but Alec Baldwin did for playing him on Saturday Night Live.
At long last, Mr. President, here is your Emmy.
The 2017 winners were more diverse than in years past. Donald Glover won for directing and acting in Atlanta. Riz Ahmed won for The Night Of, and Lena Waithe of Master of None became the first African-American woman to win for comedy series writing.
Thank you for embracing a little Indian boy from South Carolina and a little queer black girl from the south side of Chicago.
Stories about women ruled the night. Julia Louis-Dreyfus received her 6th Emmy for Veep. No actor has ever won that many for a single role. The Handmaid's Tale earned 5 Emmys, including Best Drama Series, and Nicole Kidman received her first Emmy, one of 5 on the night for Best Limited Series winner, Big Little Lies.
This is a friendship that then created opportunities. It created opportunities out of a frustration because we weren't getting offered great roles. So now, more great roles for women, please. Yes. Thank you.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Still have the top local news headlines. And what does it take to be an astronaut these days? So we'll take a look at some of the new requirements to have the right stuff for the next age of space travel after this.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Get the hottest deals of the year during the summer clearance event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab for as low as $24,999. Or spread out in your spacious new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $10,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
If you're looking for a rewarding job you'll love, good news. The perfect job is just a click away. Go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day. It's that easy. Stop searching and go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day to find the perfect job for you.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Start your day with a new Good Morning Suncoast team. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m. on ABC 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Here's a live picture from Braden River High School, which, like all the other schools in the area, both in Manatee and Sarasota, resume classes today. Many had the week off while these schools were used as shelters. They've been cleaned up now, and school resumes today in both counties. 6:53 right now, checking the headlines. You wake up for the first time since the hurricane hit. School resumes on the Suncoast. The state will give free breakfast and lunch in Sarasota County for the next 4 weeks. Not bad. The World Rowing Championships begin later on this week. Saturday in Sarasota County, some teams were delayed arriving here due to Hurricane Irma. And the Ringling Museum welcomed back visitors with free admission on Sunday. They actually took some paintings off the wall before the storm hit to prevent any damage. Checking first alert traffic right now. No real problems. A little slowdown there on 301 southbound as you head towards State Road 70. Checking farther south now into Sarasota County. Might see a little blip there on 41 northbound as you head around Proctor Road. And then farther south now on the Sarasota County map, we'll see a couple issues in either direction on 41. John?
Of course, it's very active in the tropics. But everything so far looks like it's going to avoid the state of Florida, at least for the 3 that we have out there currently. So a chance to kind of dry out and clean up. The daytime high today, about 90 degrees, and that'll be true for the next several days. Lower relative humidity, though, might make that afternoon feel a little bit more comfortable. The heat index is slightly lower than they might otherwise have been had we not had that north wind. Rain chances will start to increase, but not until we head into the second half of the week. At that point, we'll start to see a 30 or 40% chance of rain work its way back into the forecast. But all in all, some very warm, toasty afternoons, but pleasant enough evenings because of the dry air. When the sun sets, it should be very comfortable out there.
All right, very nice. Finally now, as America gears up for a new era of human spaceflight, NASA has released the basic requirements for being one of the next astronauts. Health assessments, height requirements, I could be too tall for that one, a bachelor's degree, and a new one, Russian language proficiency required. Salaries are between $66,000 and $144,000 a year. Might be time to learn some Russian.
Wow, that's interesting.
Space station, huh?
Russian required.
Yeah. Maybe a second job?
What's that?
A second job, some moonlighting, pardon the pun?
I'm surprised. Yeah, right, they're very funny. I'm surprised that it only requires a bachelor's degree.
I would think so. Think much more than that, too. Yeah.
Interesting.
I couldn't do it. Claustrophobic.
Yeah?
Could you do it?
I don't know. You got a lot of wide open space out there.
Once you get outside the door, that's
right. Right.
All right, folks. Enjoy your Monday, and Good Morning America is next. We'll see you at noon.